Welcome. This is Marty with FLIR Security's TCX Training Department. We're here today to talk about one of the new features in the Latitude 8, and that is the Global Admin Server. Now, the Global Admin Server is generally used for larger customers that have multiple sites, full-blown versions of Latitude at each one of these sites, and the Global Admin Server allows them to share or have individual users be valid users in all of or any of those Latitude systems that they want. It's all done by each system connecting to the Global Admin Server. So the first thing we need to do is take a look at how to set it up and then manipulate the different users and groups that we want to be able to be shared across those locations. So if you can see right here, I do have a Latitude system on this machine, which we're going to take a look at here. And you can see the IP address of this machine is 192.168.0.11. The other machine I'm going to use to try to connect together is a similar IP address, 192.168.0.12. And I've identified the archivers in each one of these systems by its name. So the archiver in this system is called 11, and the archiver in the other system is called 12, so you'll be able to see the difference. The first thing we need to do, of course, is install the Global Admin Server on a particular location that is reachable by all of the individual Latitude systems that you want to be able to set up. So again, the first thing to do is create a Global Admin Server, and I've got the setup right here. You can see it's about to take over. Give it a second. And the installation process begins. Now, again, this only has to be available by all of the Latitude systems. And this machine right here, of course, is going to be installed right on it, so that'll be nice and easy to reach. But I do want you to see the process of going through and closing down, of setting up the Global Admin Server. So let's go ahead and, now this will take quite some time, so I'm going to speed it up in this video. I'm just going to hit next here. Looks like I may have lost connection to that machine. Ah, there we go. I'm going to accept the agreement, and then we just let the installation process take its course. So you can see it now has finished. Let's go ahead and click the finish button, and now the system is ready. All right, now we're here on the 11 machines, the 12 machine. Let's just prove this by finding the IP address. All right, you can see this one is now number 12. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and launch Admin Center. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually connect up to both the local machine, the 12 machine, and the 11 machine as well, so we can see how to configure the Global Admin Server. So let's go ahead and, again, log in, and this one is the 12 machine. All right, you can see this one is the 12 machine. If we go to our physical view, you can see this is 12. The other one was set to 11. So what we also want to do then is connect up to the number 11 machine. Just so we can show that in the tree right there. And all we got to do this to connect to more than one system is simply come to the connect screen and put in the IP address of the machine that we want to connect to. It's the 11 machine because we're already on 12, as you can see. All right, now you can see on the left-hand side we do have access to both machines right now. This machine is just rebooting, so it is just coming back online. You can see all these things will disappear here shortly. But what you'll notice is neither of these machines in their physical views have access to that Global Admin Server that we were just talking about. So that's the first thing we need to do. And again, it is actually located on the 11 machine. So that should be the easiest one to make a connection to, right? Seeing as how it's on itself. But this one still is coming back up again, as you can see the directory and the archiver back up, but it's taking a little bit of time for these. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go right to the 12 machine, and we'll go ahead and install the Global Admin Server here first. And we do this simply by right-clicking. What we have to do with each one of the systems so they can all reach back and utilize the Global Admin Server. So we just simply name it, and I'll just leave it at that name. That's fine. The network address, as we know, is on the 11 machine, so we need to find it, even though we're on the 12 machine now. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And let's go ahead and test that connection to the Global Admin Server. And there you can see I do have a good connection. All right, now what we want to do, and again, so we've connected it up to the machine that it's on, right? But we now need to go to each one of our individual systems if we were going to add any further ones, and add the global admin server to that location as well. We do it exactly the same way, right? Number 11 system, I come down here, add global admin server. It's actually already on itself, so we just need to give it its own IP address. Again, hit save. And now let's test the connection to the global admin server. Okay, now both devices or both systems have access now to the global admin server. And by using, let's come down here. Let's go back to our original machine here, the 12 machine. So we can connect back to the 11 machine right here where the actual global admin server is located at. And you notice that because we put the same address in each one of the systems. So now what we want to do is come down to our users and groups, and this is where we can start seeing what's going down. Now, the reason we have global users as a group right here in each one of these systems is simply because we've attached a global admin server to this system. Now you'll notice each system is a brand new system I just installed on both of these machines. So you can see we only have one local group, the users, which is the catch-all group that all end users are in any Latitude system. And we have one user, the system administrator. So what we want to do is we can come up and to the users and groups and the system itself. I can just right-click the system and I can add a user or a group. But what I like to do is come down here to the wizards and we can actually create a user group right here from the wizard. Let's go ahead and do that. As you can see, it walks us right through. So we're going to call this group the IT group, just to make it easy to add to the system. Oops, next, IT group, next. And we don't have any users, right? Just the system admin now. So let's go ahead and create two very quick users here. And we'll just call user A, just for ease of use. Notice there are no limitations by default out of the block about the minimum length username and password, etc. So we have user A now on this system. I'm going to go ahead and just create one more so we can see the difference. And we'll create user B. And now I've got user A. Let's go ahead and put them into this IT group and hit next. And we'll give them full access rights. And you can see there's one camera and they have access to everything. We're just going to go ahead and add the users. They have full rights and privileges. And we're just going to hit finish. All right, now you can see once we've got finished, now system 1 basically has user A and user B and an IT group. Let's go to that group. You'll notice that each user group has a box right after it that says is a global group. Now, the only thing we need to do then, if we do make this a global group, is then go and make sure that the transformation or the information has been sent to the global admin server, and then the global admin server sends it out to all the other groups that are attached to itself. So we have IT group, we have user A, user B. We want to be able to see if we can just automatically add these users and groups to other systems, and that's really what this is all about. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click on is global group. And I'm also going to go to, let's go ahead and save that. So the IT group is now a global group, which should be able to be reached by all the other systems. And you can see the 11 system still does not have access to it yet. And that's simply because we haven't made it happen yet. So we're about to do that. So there's the IT group. Now I'm going to go right to individual users as well. And I'm going to make them also. Oops, I guess I got to save each one. And I will make these individual users A and B. Well, you know what? Let's just to show the difference. Let's make user A global user, but user B, we will not make a global user. So you'll see the difference. Now you also see the IT group is a global group, although, and then B is a member of that global group. But it doesn't necessarily mean that B is a global user. And that's you'll see the difference here once we do sync up. Now syncing it up, what I'm referring to basically is to come back to the physical view right here. And this is the 12 machine that we were on. So what we want to do is come to the global admin server and just give it a kind of a boot in the pants, right? We want to make it synchronized now. Now, if I go to the global admin server, let's go ahead and do that. You can see that there is an interval down here for synchronization. And by default, it's set to every 5 minutes. However, you don't have to wait that much time, and we have a video to complete. So what we can do is right-click the actual server and synchronize now. Now I'm also going to come down to the 11 machine, which we can see here, and I'm going to synchronize that one as well, just to make sure that it does receive that information from the global admin server that it should be in right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our users and groups. And now you'll notice, just as I mentioned, the IT group, which is a global group, we've made it that way based on this checkbox over here, just by refreshing and making sure that that information is transferred to the global admin server and then been disseminated to the other groups. We can now see that the IT group is now down here in system 11 as well, even though it was created up here. And the global user A is also appearing down here now once we've refreshed, but the global user, excuse me, the non-global user B is not, because we didn't